Yes, dear students, in the last class we have studied about the vapor pressures of real solutions, and we have also studied the vapor pressure composition and boiling point composition curves of a binary liquid system. Okay, all these things we have studied in the last class. Today, the next topic we are going to study and discuss is fractional distillation process. In order to explain the fractional distillation process, usually two liquids having different boiling points are usually separated by a process called fractional distillation process. Now, this can easily be explained by taking the boiling point temperature and composition curve of this type. See, when the boiling temperature is plotted against the composition or the mole fraction of B, here actually shows TA. TA is the boiling point of pure liquid A, and TB is the boiling point of pure liquid B. See, the vapor pressure of A is very much less, therefore it has very high boiling point, whereas the vapor pressure of the liquid B is very less, therefore it has very low boiling point. Now let us consider, when I am this mixture, when I am heating at a temperature T, okay, when we heat the solution at a temperature T, when we take the solution of composition X, it will have the composition X1, the vapors will have the composition X1, okay, because the vapors will be rich in B, because B has low boiling point. So when the solution of composition X is heated, it will boil at a temperature T. At that temperature, the vapors collected will have composition X1, which will be rich in B. And the remaining residual liquid, okay, the residual liquid after condensation, it will boil at different temperature because it will have different composition. The residual liquid will have composition while at that composition it will not boil at the same temperature, but it will boil at higher temperature, say T1. Okay? Likewise, when we goes on increase the temperature, the residual boiling point liquid goes on increases and attain the maximum value, that is TA, where the residual liquid will contain only A, though VB will be present. In that way, the liquid A can easily be separated from the liquid B. Similarly, when we collect the vapors and redistill, what happens? At a temperature T, the vapors collected and distilled will have composition X1, which will be very much rich in B. Okay? Again and again, on repeated distillation, okay, on repeated distillation, what happens? See, the same liquid will boil at temperature T2, which is lower than the T. So at lower temperature, the vapors collected and it is redistilled, repeated distillation. The vapors collected, the condensed vapors collected will be very much rich in B. It will have a composition Z. It contains mostly B, and on repeated distillation, the distillate will contain only B. In this way, we can separate A from B. So this type of process is called fractional distillation process. This can easily be done by experiment using fractional distillation setup. See, the fractional distillation setup mostly we are using. See, in the fractional distillation setup, we have round bottomed flask heated over a wire gauze. It is fitted with a condenser like this. See, it is fitted with a Levy condenser. And here we have a stand. See, when a liquid mixture is heated over a wire gauze, okay, and this solution containing a mixture of A and B, whereas A is having high boiling point, B is having low boiling point. That means B is more volatile, A is less volatile. Usually we are using a fractionating column. This is called a fractionating column. We are using different shaped fractionating columns. Sometimes this type of fractionating columns are used. See, this type of fractionating columns. Okay, different types of fractionating columns are used. We are using this fractionating column in order to increase the volume of surface of condensation of a liquid. That is why we are using a different shaped fractionating columns in order to increase the volume of condensation. Okay, this round bottom flask is fitted with a fractionating column. Then it is connected to the Levy condenser where the water is circulated for condensation. Okay, water. What happens when a liquid starts boiling? The vapors of both the liquids goes upward. Then what happens? More volatile liquid, okay, more volatile goes upward in an ascending manner, and less volatile gets condensed and comes down after condensation. See, when the two liquids, vapors, moves together through the fractionating column, both the vapors of the two liquids chopped with each other. And finally what happens? The liquid which is more volatile will get condensed and cool down readily in the fractionating column and get condensed and it is collected in the side tube. will come down, will flow down again inside the round bottomed flask. So in this way what happens on repeated distillation, what happens? More volatile liquid vapors are collected very easily. Less volatile liquid which is having more boiling point, they will come down and collected in the what is called as round bottomed flask. Here, this type of fractionating columns and fractional distillation setup is usually used in the laboratory to separate the mixtures A and B. Usually, those liquids whose vapor pressures are considerably differ with each other, such type of liquids are usually separated by a fractional distillation process. See, different types of fractionating columns. Sometimes this type of fractionating columns are used. Sometimes the columns with the beads like this. This type of column is used, okay, and another type is, see, this type of columns are used. Okay, this type of columns are used. Okay, that is why we are using different shaped columns in order to increase the surface area of cooling. Okay, that is why we are using different shaped fractionating columns. So in this setup, those liquids which are going to be separated, they are distilled by means of this method. Here I have used a pear-shaped fractionating column. We can also use this type of fractionating columns in order to increase the volume of cooling surface. Okay, so ultimately here to condense the more volatile liquid vapors, we are using the Levy condenser. This is the collector where we find more volatile, a liquid which is having high boiling point, low boiling point is separated from the liquid having high boiling point. See, here also what happens, the liquid starts boiling when their total vapor pressure will become equal to atmospheric pressure. Then only the liquid starts boiling. Okay, that is the total vapor pressure P will become equal to atmospheric pressure. Then the liquid starts boiling. That is the boiling point of a particular liquid. So therefore, fractional distillation process is very much useful in separating one liquid from another. Okay, so like this we have to use the fractional distillation process. Say, fractional distillation process is a type of separation process or a type of purification process. Purification from one liquid to another. That is, from when the two liquids are mixed together, they act as impurities. What happens? The boiling points of the liquid mixture is greater than the boiling point of the both individual liquids. So therefore, we have to use a fractional distillation process. In the fractional distillation process, what happens? We have to use repeated distillation method. On repeated distillation means the vapors are collected, condensed. It is again distilled. So this is called a redistillation process. So again and again on redistillation, we get purified compounds. Usually organic liquids. Okay, organic liquids are usually purified by means of this process, because the purification after preparation of any liquid, the purification is very important. Purification plays an important role. How will you check the purity? By checking its boiling point. Very simple method. By checking its boiling point. When the boiling point is exact, that shows that the liquid is in pure form. If there is a deviation, then what happens? Then the boiling point will vary. It may be either greater than the actual value or lesser than the actual value. So therefore, this type of purification process is called fractional distillation process. Fractional distillation process can be easily explained by boiling point composition curve, what we have used previously. Okay, so that is one method, and this is the easiest method using this fractional distillation setup. We can do it in our laboratory. Okay, in our laboratory we have different fractionating sets are there of different volumes. Okay, so we can do it in our laboratory. Any two liquids can easily be separated by using fractional distillation setup or fractional distillation process. So remember, fractional distillation is a very important method of separation of organic liquids. Okay, it is one of the best purification method. Okay, usually it is asked in 5 mark questions. You have to draw the diagram, boiling point composition diagram, and you have to explain. After that, you have to draw the fractional distillation setup diagram, and you have to explain, that is, how the two different liquids are separated from one another. Okay, in the next class we will study about the azeotropic mixtures and steam distillation process. See, now we are going to complete within 2 or 3 classes. Okay, I am going to complete first unit. So all of you students, you have to prepare the notes. Okay, and you have to study in your home regularly. For all these things, you please follow the textbook of physical chemistry by Puri, Sharma and Patalia. It will be easy for you to refer and understand. I am writing the name of the book. All of you has to follow for this. That is textbook of physical chemistry by B.R. Puri, L.R. Sharma and Patania. All of you follow this book. It will be easy for you to refer and understand. Okay? The next topic we will study in the next class. Okay? We will study in the next class. All of you follow this book. Okay, see you in the next class.